Maryland to have 8 openly gay, lesbian elected officials in the General Assembly. But Rich Madaleno is the spiritual sort of leader of that caucus. Most of you have known Rich since he was a delegate representing Montgomery County and moved on over to the Senate. And for those of us who have done this work over the years, you know that there has been nobody in this institution that has worked so tirelessly for our lives, our families, our dignity, our respect, so much to the detriment of his sleep and his sanity sometimes, but he has never given up. And despite how tired all of us were working for marriage equality last year, he absolutely, stepped up in January and said, I want to take this bill. I want to be the lead sponsor on the Marylanders for All Fairness Act. And there's nobody else we want to take us to the finish line on transgender equality than Senator Rich Madaleno. So please welcome our fine senator.
Thank you all very much for coming out again tonight. This is so exciting that we are on the verge of this last big victory in Maryland, because for too long, for way too long, transgender Marylanders have been subject to discrimination, and it is time for it to end. I saw this sign sitting there as I came out, because it is finally our time. I am so proud to be working on this bill with my colleague Jamie Raskin as the primary sponsors of this legislation. And if you don't know already, you should, as you go out tonight and talk to legislators, know that it takes 24 votes to pass a bill in the state Senate. We have 23 sponsors of this legislation. This legislation got to the Senate floor 2 years ago, but at the very end of the session, at the last minute, and it didn't survive. But now it's time for us to come back and get this victory. We have a very good strategy to get this done. It has passed the House of Delegates before. It's literally just getting it through the state Senate. And that's what you need to do tonight, is just go out, bang on the doors of your legislators, hopefully all of your senators, and let them know how important this is to you, to your friends, to your family, and how it's going to make a real difference in the lives of Marylanders. I think I'm very confident we've got the votes in the state Senate if we could just get the bill to the floor. The hearing is next week. I think we're going to have a tremendous hearing set up to make our case. We've got a huge coalition behind us. I feel like all of the stars are finally in alignment to make this happen. And so it's just a matter of you going out and telling your legislators that it's important for them to vote for this bill, and you going out and telling your friends and family and neighbors and co-workers that they need to call their legislators and let them know why Senate Bill 449, the Fairness for All Marylanders Act, is important and they should support it. We have a lot of people. I mean, the nice part is, Carrie was talking about 8 of us who are openly gay. We have, look at the votes over the last few years. We have a majority in support of fairness. This is more about tonight going out and saying thank you than it is necessarily trying to drag people over the line. But it's still important for you, for all of you, to go out and let them know that this is important and that there is support for this in every part of the state. For years as a coalition, we have been told we could not succeed. We were told we'd never passed the anti-discrimination bill in 2001, and yet we did. We were told we couldn't pass an anti-bullying bill or a hate crimes law, both of which are trans-inclusive, and we did. Then when it came to the fight for relationship recognition, we were told we couldn't pass a tax break. We were told we couldn't pass hospital visitation, and we did. And then we were told we would never pass marriage. And if we did, it would never be approved by the voters. We have proven the other side and the naysayers wrong year after year after year. And then finally in 2013, we're going to prove them wrong once again, get this bill done, and in doing so, Maryland will be at the very top with only a handful of states, Vermont, Connecticut, Washington State, that have the full panoply of protections for every part of the LGBT community. So thank you so much for coming. And thank you, a special thank you to Carrie and to Equality Maryland. For years, I've talked about Equality Maryland as the little organization that could, that everyone counts them out. There's no one, I mean, between all of our friends who have run this organization over time, Carrie, Dan Formansky, there are no set of actual paid lobbyists who are down here who get as much done for as little amount of money. So between Equality Maryland, the whole coalition that has stood with us on every issue, I thank you so much for coming down and being part of this historic victory in Annapolis. So thank you all very much and enjoy your evening. Woo!